Hey everybody, KC here. So interesting story from CNBC about how Apple is trying a new tactic to get young people, and by young people I mean children, to wear the Apple Watch. Now, according to the story, the iPhone maker has launched a new marketing website as part of a rebranding effort for its suite of Apple Watch features aimed at children. The site, which calls the Apple Watch, quote, a great call for kids, shows how parents can use the device to stay in touch with their children who may be too young for a smartphone. Easy to call and text, know where they are, great ways to keep them active. It's independence for them and peace of mind for you, is what the website says. Now, let's be clear. What Apple's trying to do here is they want to sell more Apple Watches. And they want to get people addicted to Apple Watches at a really, really young age, so they'll wear them for their entire lives, which means a lot of revenue for Apple, not just in terms of hardware, but also the software they're going to install on these things, which will get incredibly more numerous and sophisticated as time goes on. That's number one. Number two, and I'm an Apple guy, right? So I love Apple. Everything I have is pretty much Apple. If they really wanted to invest in the safety of children, what they would do is they'd come up with a dumb phone, right? It could look like an Apple iPhone. It could look like a smartphone, but it wouldn't allow them access to the internet. That would be it would allow them to make phone calls. It would allow them to text back and forth with their parents, but it would not give them access to the internet. I'm a big believer that young people, children, should not be on the internet, should not be on social media. As far as I'm concerned, if they wanted to pass a law tomorrow saying you got to be 18 or older to be on social media, and that social media companies had to age gate their sites, I'm entirely in favor of that. I think it's a horrible influence on young people. So that's two things. First of all, right, what they're trying to do is make more sales. And second of all, if they really wanted to invest in kids, what they do is they do a dumb phone. On the other hand, if you look at it from a purely marketing point of view, it's really a smart thing for them to do. If Apple's really smart about this stuff, they're going to market it both to young people and also to old people who will have a different use for Apple Watches. I'm convinced at some point there's going to be, the doctors will be able to issue a prescription for Apple Watches so that people of a certain age, and by that I mean like my age and older, will wear the Apple Watches because of all the health benefits, all the tracking, all the kinds of things that an Apple Watch can do. I have to say, I haven't made that leap yet. Mrs. Content Guy loves her Apple Watch, but I'm still wearing an analog watch. And I have really no interest in getting an Apple Watch, but I'm figuring at some point the doctor will probably say I have to. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I don't trust any of these companies, really, when it comes to this stuff. I don't trust Facebook. I don't trust Google. I don't trust Amazon. And I certainly don't trust TikTok. It was interesting. Last week, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against TikTok and its China-based parent company, ByteDance, over the company's alleged failure to protect children's privacy on the social media platform. I don't trust them, and I don't think there's any reason to trust them. Listen, I think every business, every retailer especially, has to prioritize the creation of trust, the nurturing of trust, and doing their level best to make sure that whatever trust they've established between them and their shopper is never, ever violated. That's got to be job one. Apple's sort of playing around the edges of this, but I think they could go a lot farther. I just think that at this point, these are the kinds of things that companies are going to have to think about more seriously. And yeah, that means your company. That's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.